Hello and welcome to the Future of Real Estate. I'm Brett Ellis of the Ellis team at Keller Williams, and this is my mother, Sandy Ellis. Welcome to the show. All right, so in this show, we want to give you our August 2016 State of the Market report and kind of update you as to what's going on. We just filmed our Sellers Club video for August. In that, we kind of go a little bit more in depth. Now, these are people who watch this who own property in Lee County, and they're thinking about selling. Maybe they have a home on the market, maybe they're for sale by owner, and they just want to find out what's going on. And we go, we go really in depth and kind of all the things they need to know or things to think about going forward so they can track trend lines and see where the market's going. But we want to give you an overview of what's going on in the market so you have that as well.
Correct.
Okay,
Good.
So let's get into it here. Let's look at what's selling here, Sandy. Now, I ran this as of June, but I've got some more updated numbers. Back in June, our overall market had about a 5.35 month supply of inventory. Now, if you've got a home over $1 million, we're looking at almost 2-year supply of homes. Now, if you've got a home down here, $100,000 home, we'll have that thing sold in a couple days.
Maybe the same day.
Maybe same day, yeah, exactly. So, but basically, this is what's telling you is, depending on where your home falls in, how long you should expect it take for your home to close, and it's part of the supply and demand. So there's more demand, obviously, for the lower, because quite naturally, more people qualify.
Well, and so often everybody's seeing articles in the newspaper, Brett, that are telling us how many months supply there is, but it tends to be an average, and so you really do have to look at your price range.
Well, basically, this would have been the number back in June, but if you had a home, say $175,000, that's your number. If you had a home that's $900,000, that's your number. So
Right.
It's not the same for everybody, is it?
No, it's not, and it's very important to know where it's at in your category so that you can make an informed decision based on that.
Let's look at, I like to look at how our office is doing versus the board.
Pretty incredible, the difference.
Well, we're proactively marketing. We do a lot more, and we always have. But here's what's going on with the board. And I think you'll see some of these numbers bear out here in a minute. The board is down about 18.59%. The Keller Williams was down, this is closed number of units in July, 17.65%. So we're about 1% better. But where we stood out on the volume, the board is down 22.9. We were up 34.73. That's a 57.63 differential.
It's big.
Yeah, look at the listings taken. The board's down 11, we're up 15. The volume's down 10, we're up 63. That's a 73%. Listings sold, we're up 31.49% versus the board in terms of our listings are selling. So this is the whole number of sales. That's buyer and seller sides. But the listing side, this is telling me that Keller Williams listings are selling when other companies are not. They're falling.
Well, and that's a function, I believe, of when the market begins to shift. I believe that buyers and sellers both look to the experience, they look to the people they can count on, and so I think that's why you're seeing the difference in numbers.
Just look at the volume, down 22.9, we're up 62.82. That's an 85% differential. So contract written volume, we're up. So in other words, we're killing it, and the rest of the market is struggling, and I think that goes to the education, the training, and experience.
I believe that's true, Brett.
So, okay. So let's look at closed sale by price. Now, this could be a function that there's a shortage of inventory. It's hard to find a home less than $50,000.
Right, there would be more closed sales if there were more properties out there.
Absolutely. So we tell people, up to $300,000, you're golden. After that is where we start to see it fall off a little bit. And this bears it out. Our sales 200 to 250 are up 2.9. This is all the board. 250 to 300 up 8, but this is where they start falling, down 15. One shiny spot in the month of July was actually the $400,000 to $600,000 range.
Well, and that may have been the function of the sales that we had, because we had several sales in that price range.
We did have several in that price range.
We may do that number, actually.
So we didn't have all 119 of them, though.
No. Didn't mean that.
I wish we did.
Yeah.
So, and once you start getting up here 600 or a million or more, those sales are falling off. So it's just kind of something interesting to look at. Inventory, it's up 15% over last year. The month before it was up 16. The month before that up 14. What we're seeing here is rising inventory levels, aren't we?
Right, supply and demand.
Supply and demand. So the supply is going up, so that's what's raising that month's supply of inventory. Look at the new pending sales. they're going down 10.8%, down 5, down 6, down 7, down 12, down 12. Well, that tells you that the closed sales have to be down. And I think we'll see that. Well, we will in a minute. So this is a great overview, velocity. So new pending sales are down 10, new listings are down 2, but pending inventory is down 2. Inventory is up 15, and month supply of inventory is up 21. So we got inventory going up and sales going down. What's happening? Supply is outstripping demand. It's turning. It's turned.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we started seeing this months ago.
We've been seeing it, but it does take several months for the general public to realize what's going on, because there are months that,
Yeah, I never like to look
Up,
at one
down,
month.
yeah.
We could have a hurricane rip through here and,
Oh,
and
yeah,
our sales would be
that would
down.
change it, absolutely,
Or
yeah.
remember when they did the federal disclosures and it changed the mortgage, it kind of
Took
delayed things a
longer
month
to-
or so?
the sales,
So
yes.
if you have an external event affecting the market, we never like to look at 1 or 2 months, but we're seeing a trend here. So
We are seeing a trend.
Okay, so let's look at closed sales. Yes, they are. They're down 17%. They're 1,064 when they were at almost 1,300 last year. So remember last year they were still rising, and then something happened. About November 2015, we started tracking them down. So it's undeniable, it's there, and yet our sales, our pending sales are going up. So we're doing something different. And I think that's education. We sit down and we have a frank discussion with our sellers. We tell them, hey, here's the trend. And for instance, if the supply is going up, the demand's going down, you never want to get caught chasing the market down. We've been through this before.
We know what that's like. And some of these sellers have been through it before too.
Right.
So they're more wary of that. They want to price their properties correctly also.
But some of them haven't been through it. Or it's been so long ago they kind of forget about that because
Well,
you
we
read the
like to
headlines.
forget, but you can't forget.
Or maybe they
Yeah.
go on Zillow and Zillow says, hey, my property's up 22%. Maybe we ought to look at the real numbers, not some fake numbers.
Well, and I think that's why it's important for us sometimes to come out and take a look at that property, because the number that they saw on Zillow or Trulio or some other guesstimate area is just not correct. Or it can be correct occasionally, but it's not always.
Let's look at median sales price. It's still running higher, but it's not going up like it was last year. And the bottom to the middle of the market is what's buoying this. But where we're starting to see it is the average sale price. They're starting to fall down. You're seeing some big numbers, and now that's turning. So that average is going to start pulling it down, and we'll have to keep our eye on that going forward.
That's
We're not
very
surprised to
important.
see this number,
No, that's
but I want to watch it another month or two and see.
correct.
Okay. Total dollar volume though, look at this. Last year we had $420 million in sales in the month of July. It's down 27.7%, and this isn't a new trend. We've started to see this.
But
So
that's
we're-
a substantial decline.
yeah. So it's just the volume of money in motion that's moving in our market here. So, our marketing, I think we've got a couple slides here. I mean, we do enhanced photography, we've got aerial photos. There's a lot of things we do to buck that trend. But if you've got a shifting market, you got to be prepared. We got to educate our sellers, and we've got to really market those properties. If you combine the two, if you have it priced properly and marketed properly, we could get you top dollar. Now, if someone's priced $100,000 over market, all our marketing in the world isn't going to sell the property,
Can't
is it?
sell it. No,
Yeah.
nothing will happen.
And if it's priced properly but nobody knows about it, what's going to happen?
Nothing will happen either, right,
No.
correct.
So we got to get people to know about it and have it priced properly. And that's why it's a teamwork kind of effort. You need to pick a realtor that will sit down, educate you on what's going on in the market today. Not 6 months ago or a year ago.
Right, correct.
What's going on in the market today, and then price it properly, as well as proactive marketing. And that's what we bring to the table. We bring both, proper pricing and proactive marketing. And that's probably the 6 P's in real estate, isn't
The
it?
sixth one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll have to add that to our repertoire. So anyway, you've been watching The Future of Real Estate presented by the Ellis team at Keller Williams. Our phone number, if you'd like to talk to Sandy or I, is 239-489-4042, or you can visit our website, leecountyonline.com, and you can find out what your property's worth, and you can even search the entire MLS. It's updated every 5 minutes. So buyers and sellers just love that. It's one of the best websites around, and we enjoy bringing that to you. And if you'd just like to talk to us about your options, maybe you're not ready yet, that's fine. You might want to email us. Send me an email at Brett, B-R-E-T-T, at topagent.com if you want included in our Sellers Club. And we'll get you in that Sellers Club, and we'll get you the more detailed analysis, and you'll get that every month if you want that. So we can get that to you too. Buyers are calling, You
That's
know,
right, I heard that.
So even though the market may be down, we're not down. We're working hard to get your property sold. Thanks for tuning in.